Hey everyone, it's Synth Designer back again with another video. Today I want to talk about something really important in Avicii's mixes, and this is about his lead lines. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of aspects to this video. I'm not going to go through absolutely everything. The most important part is I want to talk about how his leads sound so kind of like punchy and transient. And there's a very key secret to it, and I'm going to show you how to do that today. So first off, this is not exactly a video on how to write an Avicii song. As you can hear from the preview, it's not exactly like an Avicii style melody. It's kind of mimicking it a little bit, but his are really upbeat type of thing. This one's a little bit more mellowed out. And so this is kind of a combination of his techniques in levels as well as silhouettes. So as you heard, you had that kind of silhouette style chords, and then we kind of went into a break that is kind of a mix between levels and silhouettes, if you could think of it that way. So what am I talking about when I'm talking about that kind of transient aspect to Avicii's leads? If you think of levels in particular, you really have that lead line that is really rich, layered, and it has almost a percussive element to it. And that is due to a few different elements coming together. I'm going to show you how to do that. So we're going to start off with just the chords, and then I'm going to show you the leads, and then we're going to kind of build it all together, and I'll show you how it's processed to get that sound. So we're going to go through the chords kind of quickly. In this pre-chorus here, I have the same chords as the chorus, but they're in a little bit of a different pace. So let's just play pattern 1 maybe to start, and I'll show you what I mean here. So it's very silhouette style. Then pattern 3 here. So as you can hear, there's a piano here. So I've kind of mixed it up between those two songs, but the important part here is how it gets all mixed together. And that's really the fundamental part of this video. So first, let's just talk about quickly how to kind of layer all these sounds together and make it all make sense together. So we're going to focus more on the chorus here. The pre-chorus and this little intro section is mostly based around that pattern 1 intro that I just played for you. And over here, we just have a little bit of layering here with different chords. So I'll play these real quickly for you. So a different piano here. That kind of big saw there for you. And then finally, a nice transient kind of plucky sound to it. So then let's take a look at the chords here and how we can get that really transient kind of lead going. So pattern 3 I already played for you. Let's check out pattern 2. Already you can hear that kind of transient clicking type of sound to it. And that is the key fundamental here that we're going to get at. And then real quickly, we're going to go through all of these here. Pattern 5. Even in the piano, you can start to hear it a little bit, hopefully. Pattern 6 is just a higher piano. Pattern 7. We're getting into the lead line along with this distorted kind of square here. And I'll show you what that looks like. So it's just two basic squares, one lower octave, one kind of another lower octave, and then a lot of distortion on it. And that kind of blends in. Then we have pattern 8 here. Again, you can hear that kind of transient, and this is a saw here, one that's slightly a little bit detuned and has 4 voices unison, one right up the middle. Again, a lot of distortion. Pattern 9, we're getting back into the chords here. And you can really hear the transient here. Pattern 10 is a bass line. Pattern 15, we're getting back into the chords again. Just a high filtered super saw. And then pattern 16. back into one more layer of a lead line here. Squares again, but in higher octaves. So you could hear some of those transients, and I'm going to show you right now how to create that. The reason why they all work in harmony is because they're all grouped together on one bus, essentially. And so you'll see all these chord layers, leads, synth leads, etc. But the key here is that they're all into one send, and then they go into a reverb as well. But when they are routed to one track here in FL Studio, and you could do this in any DAW, the key here is that you can all process them under kind of one umbrella, and that gives a cohesive sound. And the key here is this kickstart 2, which kind of gives it that pumping effect, but more importantly, how it's created. As you can see here, kickstart has a lot of different shapes here. It doesn't really matter as much which one you choose, but how you place it. So you can see here specifically that this one is being triggered here with a little bit of an attack here. So if I were to push it all the way here and then play essentially the section here, I'm just gonna play this without the drums, and then we can hear it all together. So you can hear that very obvious sidechain kind of pump to it, and that's what kickstart really does. It creates that quick kind of sidechain action here. But let's just introduce this kind of attack to it and see the difference. So I'm going to play this out for you. And you can hear that transient coming in because we've allowed the attack to come through very quickly. And that is something you hear in his song like Levels, for example. Not as much in Silhouettes, but Levels, especially in that lead line, you're just hearing that like transient coming right through and kind of giving it almost a smacking sound, right? And that's what is the secret essentially to his sound. It's not only that there's sidechain compression, but that there's that slight attack gap there that allows that sound to kind of create that specific transience, right? Now if we blend this in with the drums, so this one is very piano forward, and in the piano that attack is going to come through nicely. With the drums here as well, it allows the kick drum to come through nicely as well. So that's essentially his little kind of secret there of how he gets that kind of pop to his sound. I know that this is kind of a kind of mix here between Silhouettes and Levels. I could have just recreated Levels, I suppose, and just shown you how to do it this way, but I kind of wanted to show you kind of how it can apply to different sounds. And if you're making your own kind of style of Avicii leads, the key there is to think about allowing that attack to come through if you're doing a major sidechain. So let me know down in the comments below if you want to see more of these types of videos, or if you want me to go into more depth about this one. I have lots of ways I can show you how to kind of create these leads and kind of how to process things together as well. I really just wanted to show you this lead trick that he does, and hopefully you can kind of get some info out of it and use it in your own songs and your own music. So hopefully you like this video, and I'll see you next time.